Hello ladies and gentlemen, today is a special episode. This one is an extra long movie all about the greenhouse, combining all the episodes from the greenhouse together. This is gonna be from the first day we got the greenhouse until today. It's a nice treat. It took a lot of work to edit it all together, but here it is. And I'll see you all at the end of this episode, where I can show you the inside of the greenhouse and show you what it looks like today. Hello ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see, we got a new greenhouse. I'll tell you about that in a second. This has been working pretty good. Although as you can see, this plastic has crimped up a little bit. It is a very windy day today. I'm gonna have to fix that and put some rocks down here so it doesn't keep blowing around. It's been plus degrees so long and there's still snow and ice in certain places. I can't understand it. This is just for the guys watching. Let's see. Here we go. Ready? Yeah! Guys will understand. I know not all women will understand. Some of you will, but come on. So yeah, this greenhouse. Frida's boss, at the place she works right now, had this greenhouse at some point, and they weren't ever doing anything with it. So they basically told my dad, that also works at that location, to get rid of it. And my dad was like, well, instead of getting rid of it, how about Frida and Steve take it? We are very happy with it. As you can see, it's missing a few parts. Those are down here. And it is quite dirty. Some of the metal pieces are bent. It's on some old wooden beams. And one of them back there is missing and they're a little bit rotten. So this greenhouse isn't just plant down and start working with it. No. We have some work to do to make it functional. So Frida and I are planning to take care of this thing. Frida almost can't wait because she really wants to scrub this thing down because it's all mossy and dirty. But this greenhouse is a lot bigger than this guy we had. As you have seen in previous vlogs last summer, just had a little tarp over it. But this one actually has hard plastic sheets. And if I go inside, I can actually stand up straight. It's a pretty nice size greenhouse. You can stand up working. It's nice to actually have a actual greenhouse finally. Alright, as you can see, I fixed up all the panels in that thing. There are still some missing parts. The person we got it from did use it last year, but it has been slowly falling apart. And there are some missing screws, nuts and bolts, but I have plans for those, but that's not what we're gonna fix today. Today, we are gonna raise up this greenhouse, because let me show you, it's not a bad greenhouse, not at all. It's pretty good. Even for me, I'm 1.91 meters tall. I have to duck underneath the doorway here. And as you can see, I can stand up straight, but just one step to the left or one step to the right and I'm hitting my head on the roof. So the plan is today that I'm gonna prepare for raising this up. I am gonna make a wooden box around it, on which that box is gonna be like a foot for this entire greenhouse to stand on. So I'm first of all gonna check out if I have all the materials and gather those together, and once I have all those, we'll start building the box. I'm hoping to raise it up like 40 centimeters or something. Not too much, it doesn't need to be too much, but just enough that I can stand up a little bit easier in that thing and don't have to duck as much. Also, the door is a little bit hard to close. There we go. So yeah, let's go look at materials. I've got the shed on the other side of the road, and in here I save up all my materials. All right, let's see what we have. All right, so I gathered a bunch of beams. I'm hoping it's gonna be enough. Sadly, they're not they're not like the full length of the greenhouse, so it's all gonna be like small little pieces. But you know, that's what happens when you work with free materials, that you scavenge. Yeah, that's the word, scavenge. That you scavenge from other locations. We're not buying anything for this, we all doing this for free. So yeah, that's the materials I have to work with. I'm hoping it's enough. The greenhouse is 3 meters by 2 meters. That means I need 6 meters for the length and 4 meters for the width. So that's a 10-meter circle. And I want to do it double thick. So that's 20 meters of material I need. And I think it will be okay. Yeah, so now I'm gonna do measuring, laying it out on the ground, cutting everything to size, and we'll be back when I've made everything the correct sizes and see if I've got enough material or if I need to go get more. Oh, and the reason I'm doing this now all is because growing season is about to start. So I want all this to be done so we can start growing stuff. Okay, so I laid out all the planks and we're one short. So for the width of the greenhouse, we've got enough. Like, we've got 2 for the front and 2 for the back. So that's perfect. For the length though, as you can see, we're missing one here. Back into the storage I go and see if I can find one of the size that I need. Oh, please have another one. It would be so nice if I had another one. I found another one. Luckily, here it is. But as you can see over there, it's a little bit too wide. That's okay. I rather have it too big than too small, because I can always cut parts off. Okay, now I know that I have enough material. Now it's time to lay it out in the way I want to mount it, in the way I want to construct it, and then cut everything to size. Okay, there you can see we got one width done. So 1 done, 3 more to go. Some things you just can't do by yourself, so I got my dad to help a little bit because my arms aren't this long. I told Frida I was not going to do this today, but it was itching, so it's going to be a surprise for her tonight. Well, as you can see, we got it on there. It is. I actually have no idea yet how tall it is. Let me get a. See, what I did is just get a couple of beams and just put them on there, but I have no idea how much I raised it by, and I raised it by a little less than 40 centimeters, which is perfect. It is a little bit of a step in. But it feels like there is so much more space right now. Like, remember at the beginning, I could only do one step to the side and I hit my head. But now I can, my elbow hits the side before my head hits the top. So much better. So I'm very happy with this. And as you can see, it's getting dark. So we're done for today. Stay tuned. I'm currently looking for my rake. Because we're gonna work on the greenhouse a little bit more today. And let me show you. Oh, there's my rake. Here it is. And today, working on the greenhouse, I'm gonna need this guy because here I have made a patch of sand. The greenhouse is gonna get a brick floor. I've got some leftover bricks, and the floor is gonna be made out of them for two reasons. I can make it nice and level on top of the sand, and second, when there is sun on the greenhouse during the day, the bricks will warm up, and then when the sun goes down, those bricks will give the warmth back into the greenhouse, extending the time for it being warm inside of there. So I've gathered some sand. I do not know if it's going to be enough sand, but I have a trick to find out. So, as you can see, first off, there's red paint, so I knew where the greenhouse was standing before I put down the tarp. I've got a tarp that is to prevent things from growing up into the greenhouse. On top of the tarp, I got sand, and the idea is with the bricks is that we put the bricks down and then they're all going to be nice and level. For people that have been bricklayers for a while and have made floors and gardens and stuff, they know how this works. But let me explain it to you anyway. So yeah, I need to make sure that all this sand is nice and level. And I do not know if I have enough sand yet, but I borrowed this long dude from my parents. I can just check out if everything is nice and level. I'll put one corner on the highest point and just start going in circles to see if everything's level. And that way I will know if I need more sand or if I've got enough. I hope I've got enough, but I severely doubt I've got enough. I'm probably gonna have to go get more. And that's what the rake is for. So if I got some bumps or holes, I can make the sand more equal with this guy. So let's get started. Okay, just spent about 5 minutes making sure it's all nice and level, and it is. With any luck, I might not need extra sand because it looks pretty good for now. So that's done. Next step, get all the bricks from over there to over here. That's gonna be a lot of work. So yeah, I better get started going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with all the bricks. Whew, that was a lot of work. That is not all of them yet. I think I still got one or two more wheelbarrows to go. It looks like I might have enough to do the entire floor. I'm not 100% sure if I got enough bricks to do the entire floor. We'll see when we start. Doing that was a lot of work. I'm gonna go take a break for lunch, and then I'll get the last wheelbarrow of bricks, and then we start laying bricks. Then we start laying bricks on the floor. Okay, I have eaten my lunch. Time to get back to work. And I want to remind you guys, for the people that have missed it, I have activated channel memberships. So if you want to support the channel, now you can, and every once in a while channel members will get their own little video. But enough of that, let's get back to collecting these bricks and bringing them over there. And once this little pile of bricks is over there, I'm gonna start laying the floor. I'm excited because I want to see that floor being in existence. Well, as you can see, I got the last few bricks here. But, you know, this is my very first time ever laying a brick floor. I've seen my dad do it in the past. And I think I'm just gonna do whatever feels correct. So let's get started, improvise, and see if this goes well. As you can see, I've laid my first 2 rows of brick, started on the third, and I'm already learning things. I'm figuring it out, I'm learning how to do this. One thing that I have learned already is that I need an extra bucket of sand. Sometimes the brick needs to go up or down, and I don't want to use the sand over here because I know I've leveled that out and I don't want to dig holes. So I'm gonna go and get another bucket of sand, so that I can have that as filler. Whenever a stone doesn't get high enough, I can put some sand underneath it from the bucket instead of from here. Maybe I'll have a little bit more of a level result. I don't expect this to be perfect, and you shouldn't either, because again, it's my first time. I'm learning while doing. So let's go get that bucket of sand. I'll be back with you guys once we're back into the garden with all my buckets of sand. See you back in the garden. Okay, we're back in the garden, and as you can see, I got 1 bucket of coarse sand and another bucket of coarse sand, and then over here, so that's coarse, and that's a little bit more loose sand. That finer loose sand is gonna go between the bricks just to set everything in place. I could, as usually, just set up the camera and have a time-lapse going like I did earlier in the vlog. But I'm kind of getting bored of time-lapses. It's just, to me it feels like filler. Yes, you get to see what I'm doing, you get to see the progress, but at the same time it feels easy to me. It's really easy to make time-lapses. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think time-lapses are boring? Or do you like time-lapses with a little bit of music behind them? So let me know, so I know if I'm gonna continue making time-lapses in the future or just show you steps in the progress. I can just show you where I'm at now, then when I take a break I can show you where I'm at, and then at the end I'll show you what it looks like. That's the other side of time lapses. But for today, no time lapse. I will update you when I take a break. In the meantime, I'm just gonna get to work. There we go, taking a break. I am this far, like not even halfway yet. But my back is killing me. Whew. I knew this was gonna be work that isn't great for your back. I was hoping my back would hold out a little bit longer than this, but you know, it's going okay. The floor is a little bit wavy, like it's going, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna fix that. It's my very first floor, and it's just for a greenhouse. It's nothing too interesting. But you might be wondering why there's this weird part here, and I'm not working in lines. And I'll guess you'll see that once the floor is done and all cleaned, because I'm making it a little bit of a surprise. But yeah, work is continuing. I am gonna take a little break and then right back at it. Whew, I've been working too fast. I am sweaty and very warm. I need a shower, but I'm done. The entire floor is down. It is far from perfect. There is a high spot there, a low spot there, and I don't care. It's my first one, and I mean, I could start taking those bricks out and then putting more sand underneath it, but I just don't want to. So the next step is to take that bucket of sand, dump it all over, and brush it in. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah! Well, as you can see, I had to get one of my strongest flashlights so I could actually see what I was doing. And I'm done. I am done for today. I built myself a little floor. It took me hours. It's not very good, but I'm proud of it. All right, so at some point, me and my dad are gonna lift the greenhouse back onto that location, and then it is on to the next step. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, the next day. Since last vlog, for you guys, it's been a little bit longer than one day, but the floor is still here, and as you can see, I laid a little heart in the center there with different color bricks as a little surprise for Frida. And let me show you what I've done since last time you saw this. First of all, I made a gravel barrier around the outside to hopefully prevent the outside bricks to tilt outwards once we put the greenhouse on top of it. Just a little bit of extra support. I got some more fine sand, fine-ish sand. I sprayed it, I put it on top, broomed it in, took a watering can to let the sand seep in everywhere, and brushed it again. So now this floor has got sand in all the cracks. Normally I don't like sand in my crack, but in this case I make an exception. So the next step is putting the greenhouse back on top, so that the greenhouse will now have a nice floor on the inside. And then you see these extra bits of wood here. I made every side a little bit longer than it needed to be, just so, you know, you rather have something that's too long that you later can cut off instead of something that's too short and you have to start over. So all those bits that are too long, we're gonna cut those off. And yeah, so those are the next 2 steps. I can't do those by myself. I can't lift the greenhouse by myself. So my dad is coming along again to help me out, lift the greenhouse back on top of there and cut those pieces off. And yeah, that is the plan for today. And I've got much more plans for how to make this greenhouse better. We're going to be painting this wood. We're going to, you see the step on the inside there. We're going to attach that to the side as well. And there's much more coming. Oh, and another thing about this floor. We're not done with it yet. We're gonna get 2 bags of cement and then spray those on top so the cement seeps between the cracks as well to make it all one big piece of floor instead of individual bricks. But I don't have the cement right now and I'm not going to the shops today. But we can do that even when the greenhouse is on top, so that should be fine. But that is another step we have to do for the floor. Hey. Hey. Hello. Okay, as promised, my dad is here. We are gonna take off the little extra wood on the sides, empty the greenhouse, and then move it onto its pedestal. So we got all the tools ready. I'm gonna put the camera on the tripod so I don't have to think about filming. And then let's get this done. Alright, that side is nice and equal. Now that side is now flattened. We only have the back to do now. See, those are sticking out too. Cutting those off, and then it's time to move this entire thing over there. And moving it is going to be a challenge because last time we moved it, it was just the greenhouse. Now we also have the bottom to move. That's going to be a lot heavier. There we go. All the sides are now nice and square, nice and flat. Now the big task of moving this entire guy onto the floor. All right. Are you ready, Dad?
I'm ready.
We got it on its floor. It looks pretty nice from the outside. It looks pretty nice on the inside. But don't look too close because, you know, then you get to see that I didn't make the floor that level. I don't know what to do about that yet, but we'll come up with a solution. But it is in place, and that makes me happy because I could not do that by myself. If you are wondering how heavy it is, it was only out here for one day and it left a big impression, so that is not light. We got it in place. Now to figure out the next step. In the greenhouse, it looks amazing having this floor here. There's one problem when we got this greenhouse for free. It is missing a couple of nuts and bolts. See here in the corner, this is what it's supposed to look like. This corner, yeah, it is missing a bunch of nuts and bolts. So I'm gonna go get those, and it's again a task for 2 people because somebody needs to push on the outside to have everything line up to put the bolts through. So let me go get those. The first plants are in here already. You may recognize those plants from the vlog where we fixed the porch with Frida. She planted those. We still got some nights that were minus 10 degrees Celsius. So for safety we're putting them in there because even for those plants that's quite cold. Anyway, what's next? Well, we have the gaps at the bottom. First, we're gonna paint all the wood. Then with the gaps at the bottom, we're gonna put a plank on that gap. And then from the inside, we're gonna fill it with concrete. That will keep the bricks together and will make a nice sturdy foot for the entire greenhouse. That way those gaps that we have on the bottom are just nice, sturdy and filled. So that's the plan for the gaps. I'll probably be doing that before you guys get to comment with different solutions. Sadly, I do usually appreciate your ideas, but I want to get this finished faster than this video getting uploaded. Anyway, I am so happy with how far we've come already. It is a nice looking greenhouse. It is more than just a thing you buy. I put it on a foot, I put it on a brick floor, and it's already so nice and roomy in there. I am loving it. I've already got cool plans for how the planting boxes are gonna look in there. So yeah, this is going great. Now it's just doing the rest of the work. Good morning, everybody. Today I got some sunshine on my face. I'm planning to paint this wood on the greenhouse. But before we get into that, I just walked past this little plant box we have here, and look at this. So these are all strawberries. This is supposed to be our strawberry box. But then, look at this. Something is coming up. And I have no idea what it is. So if you know in the comments, let me know what this is. I have no idea. But yeah, it's coming up. So guess this little plant thinks it's the end of winter. We'll just have to wait and see what that turns out to be. And if you guys know, please tell me in the comments. Alright, so let's get to opening the paint can, stirring it up a bit. And right when I poured my paint in this little thing, it started raining. It wasn't supposed to rain today. Like, oh! Come on! Well, I guess I can just go inside and paint the inside of the thing. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Okay, now I'm locked inside the greenhouse and I'll just start painting. Otherwise, it is looking pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty happy with this look. So we got the inside done. Now let's hope that the weather stays like this. So I maybe get to do some on the outside as well. Well, the weather has been looking good for the last few hours. So I am gonna take a chance and start a little bit on the outside. I don't know if I'm gonna paint the entire outside yet, because still feels like the weather can change at any moment. But the inside has been drying and I'm really liking the color. It's looking pretty good. So yeah, I'm just gonna start with this side and take it step by step. Just do one side at a time, just in case the weather turns again, because it would be a shame if all my work would get undone by some rain. Still don't exactly know what the weather is gonna do, because that cloud is quite big and gray, but over here it's nice and blue. But there you go. First layer is done. The inside has got 2 layers, the outside is also gonna get 2 layers, but for now it's only got 1. So it's time for another break. I am going inside, let this dry a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't start raining in the meantime. And then time for the second layer when this is a bit drier. But isn't it looking great? I think it's looking great. Well, as you saw, it decided to start raining anyway. Yeah, so I was gonna go back inside and wait out the rain, but it's getting late in the day and soon I need to start making dinner. So painting was now or never, the last step. But as you understand, in the rain I'm not gonna paint outside anymore. But what I can paint is the step. Yeah, so for those that haven't seen it yet, in the previous vlog, the vlog called Fixing with Frida, we showed that I made a step to go in and out of the greenhouse, because the greenhouse has been raised up, and so it's a little bit awkward going in and out. So I made this step so you can easily step on it and get into the greenhouse. So I can paint that because I'm underneath the roof, so that's what I'm doing right now. And the second layer on the outside is just gonna have to wait until a different time. That's got its first layer. As soon as I was done with that layer, as soon as I was done with that first layer, it stopped raining. So I can check if this is doing okay. It managed to dry before the rain started. Let's see, this is the last side I did. I think I got lucky. Yeah. It still needs another layer though, but with the weather now actually turning rainy, not doing it today. But that thing, I will do another layer today, but I don't think it's gonna be interesting for you if I film that working on the greenhouse. It is a project that is not done yet, but I'm getting there. And it's starting to look better and better. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are gonna work on the greenhouse again, and then I'm gonna put some cement on the floor. Oh. Yeah, winter's back. So I have been working on the greenhouse a little bit off camera. I would love to show you guys what that is, but I have to dig a hole to the greenhouse first. Just in one day and one night, we've got, well, as you can see here, about 30 to 40 centimeters of snow. So I want to work on the greenhouse anyway with this weather, but the thing is I want to put cement between the bricks. And to do that, it needs to be dry in there. Now, the greenhouse does have a nice roof and door, so water shouldn't get in too much, or snow in this case, but it's still moist in there. So I'm gonna put this guy in there, warm it up in there, and see if we can get the moisture out of it today by making it warmer. If it works, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm gonna put that in there. I haven't had breakfast yet, but putting it in now so that it has a longer time to warm up. Also, it's gonna be nicer to work in a warm environment. Well, I know it's hard to see, but it's in there. Hopefully it warms up and dries out in there, because I really want to make this greenhouse ready. I've been spending so much time on it, and I don't want any delays because of snow. I want it to be ready for the growing season. Okay, let's see how the greenhouse is doing. Oh, it's very white and blinding out here. Well, as you can see, all the snow is gone from the roof, which is perfect, which means it's nice and warm in there. Now I want to go over there to check if the moisture levels has gone down. But I don't want to walk through this again, because last time I walked through it, I got snow on my shoes. So I'm gonna get myself a broom or a shovel and make myself a little bit of a better path than we have right now. And then go in there and hopefully moisture is evaporating. There you go. I got a nice path all the way to the greenhouse, and my shoes don't need to be filled with snow anymore. Also made a little path to the firewood. I'm so surprised. This little roof with all that extra weight is still hanging in there. As you see, I took some of the weight off of it. But anyway, we're talking about the greenhouse today. All right, let's see what it's like inside. I haven't been in there yet since I put the heater in there. But as you can see, most of the snow is off of the roof, meaning it's nice and warm in there. All right, let's go. Okay. Ooh, I feel the warmth. Oh, it is nice and warm in here. Oh, yes. Ooh, that is very nice. The roof is, I let this window open before it snowed, but luckily nothing came in. It's a little bit hard to tell how moist it is in here. I don't want it to be... Yeah, sadly these bricks still feel kind of moist. And I can't have that, because when I start pouring that cement, I don't want it to be too moist. Although the walls are nice and dry, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait a little while longer for it all to dry out a little bit. Well, while we're waiting, let me tell you something. I have been working ahead with my videos. I am like 2 weeks ahead of just posting daily. So what you're seeing right now is already 2 weeks old. And that is because, first of all, me and Frida have been a little bit sick. But we're over it now, which was nice that I have worked ahead. But our trip to Stockholm and for Frida's birthday to Göteborg, or Gothenburg, yeah, we didn't want the stress of having to film and upload during that time, so I've worked ahead. So that's probably why you have seen all this snow on my mom's vlog already, and you're only now seeing it on this vlog. So maybe that makes a little bit more sense for you guys now. But yeah, want to let you guys know that. And I'm just gonna have to wait until I can work more on this greenhouse. I think I'm gonna let this heater do its work in a little bit in here. Gotta get the snow off the window and open it just a little bit with a crack so that all the moisture can get out. And I'll close the window when it starts snowing again. Anyway, I'll be back when stuff has improved. At least it's pretty outside, right, babe?
At least it's pretty.
It's a lot of work though. Well, it is the next day now. I have tried to keep it warm inside the greenhouse. I've got the heater still running in there. And today is actually colder outside than it was yesterday. Today is -2. Yesterday it was anywhere between -1 and 1. And as you can see, there's still a lot of snow. Now inside the greenhouse. Yeah, the temperature in here is actually pretty good. I'm comfortable in here. I'm not wearing a jacket, so I was just coming from the house real quick. And if I feel the bricks, dang it, they still feel kind of moist. This is not working the way I want it. I want these bricks to be dry so I can start working with my cement. I read the instructions on the packaging. They say the minimal temperature you can do this in is 5 degrees Celsius. So I don't know what temperature it is in here, but I'm gonna get a thermometer, and if it's more than 5, I am gonna start working. I don't care about the moist bricks anymore. I've waited for 5 days now. Yes, I waited longer than I put on camera, but I've waited for 5 days for this to dry up, and I'm tired of waiting. So I'm gonna get a thermometer, and if it's more than 5 degrees Celsius in here, I'm gonna start working. Now, the reason I've been waiting for the bricks to dry up is because when you have wet bricks and put cement on it, the cement might dry up on top of the bricks. And then you get cement spots on your bricks, and it doesn't look very nice. So usually I would put the cement on top of the bricks and then with a broom just brush it between the bricks so that all the cement goes between the bricks. But now I think I'm just gonna by hand put all the cement between the bricks and not put it on top, which is gonna be tedious work, but that way I keep the look of my bricks nice. I hope. Okay, awesome. I have been inside for a while, and now I got back out, and look at it. The outside temperature reads as 1 degrees Celsius, 1.5 degrees, but the inside temperature is 13 degrees, which is more than 5, which is perfect, which means I can start working on cementing the floor! Finally! Been waiting for it so long! Oh my god, that went horrible. That didn't go good at all. I'm washing some things here, but yeah. Live and learn, people, live and learn. If you don't know how to do something, try it, fail, and try again. Because this was definitely a failure. I pulled out cement, started using this guy to see if I could put on cement right between the bricks. Well, the cement was too sticky, it didn't want to come through, so I decided, okay, use the normal technique where I just put the cement on top of the bricks and broom it between them. And that was so much worse. Yeah. Apparently the bricks were a lot more wet than I thought they were. To the touch they felt a little cold, but not too wet. And yeah, it was a disaster. The cement immediately started soaking up all the moisture, started sticking to all the bricks, and I didn't want that because I laid a nice pattern. We want to see the color of the bricks and stuff. So I took a lot of water and rinsed all the cement off, let it go away. So basically, I kind of fixed the problem. I think we'll still have a few cement spots, but at least I get to start over. But because I had to use so much water to get rid of all the cement, now it's really wet in there, and I'm probably gonna have to wait another week or something. That's what you get for being impatient. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is the next day again. This vlog has now gone over 3 days. And yeah. So, you just heard me explain the failure of what happened yesterday. And, you know, when working on DIY projects, failure is always an option. That's just the way life is. But, you know, that doesn't mean you have to give up. But what we are gonna do right now is go check out what it looks like, since it is the next day. And yes, I am still heating up the greenhouse because I still want everything to dry up in there. I made it worse yesterday by making it more wet than it was. So I gotta have the heating going. But yeah, looking in there, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would be. Standing in here, it definitely smells like wet cement, and but it is actually not bad looking. You can still see the heart. Yes, there is some cement spots, and there is actually some cement between the bricks. And it's actually pretty hard. A little bit successful. It is not as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah! Alright, that's perfect. So, and the floor feels sturdy. It's not... No bricks are moving. Wow! I think I did a pretty good job anyway. Yesterday I really thought I fucked up. But it's not bad. It is not bad. But we're not done. It is all very wet. I am gonna open the window. Outside it is still very snowy. No, I want you to be more open. Come on. There you go. Ooh, as soon as I opened it, I saw some wormer escaping. Yes, so outside, as you can see, there is still snow, but it's all currently melting. It is plus degrees, which is good. We want to get rid of all this snow, but here's the plan. I am gonna have that heater running in there every once in a while, just to make sure that it's warmer inside than it is outside. I'm not gonna have it running the entire time because that costs a lot of electricity. I'm just gonna have it running every once in a while to help dry it out in there. Once the bricks are really dry this time, then I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna put cement over it again and brush it. And hopefully this time with really dry bricks instead of moist bricks, so that I don't have to scramble and fix everything really fast again. And maybe then we'll have a floor that is really done and finished. But thank you for watching this disaster that actually turned out not too bad. I'm pretty happy with the result, even though it was a disaster. Good day, everybody. So, as you can see, snow is gone again, and it is actually really nice outside. I'm working in my t-shirt, and yes, I have been working on the greenhouse without filming it. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's just nice to work without having to film, because when you're filming, everything takes like 4 times as much time than just when you're working. So let me show you what I've done to the greenhouse so far. There it is. First of all, we've got the awesome steps. I've got some steps going in the greenhouse. I took a log, cut off the top and bottom. They're over there, and yeah, got some good steps going to the door, and that is very nice. It makes it a lot easier to get in and out. I still need a step on the inside, but then this is what I've been working on now. A nice stand for plant boxes at waist level. We're gonna have 3 of these boxes, one here, one over here, and then another one next to it. And then there's going to be a little space for a little working table right there. And that is what I'm currently working on. And if you look at the temperature in here, it's currently 27.5 degrees in here. So the greenhouse is definitely working. It's crazy that it's 27.5 in here. And just a few days ago, there was 0.5 meter snow outside. It's crazy. Anyway, so I've got this thing here. I got these beams going up because I'm gonna have a plank mounted on top, where we can have these guys on the top plank. We will have these guys, so Frida can have a shelf there, but also you can hang up the plants like beanstalks or tomato plants. They will be able to hang from these guys. So that's the plan. Right now I have to put some bevels between these so the boxes can slide into the windows. That's what I'm gonna be working on right now. So let's get to it. I want to get this thing finished today. that look amazing. This is the first time I'm seeing it completed myself, and it is really nice. Although the planks are still, well, sturdy. I haven't put screws on the backside yet, so this entire thing needs to come forward, then I crawl underneath it, and then I can screw the planks on the backside as well. Then I screw the entire thing to the wall, and then it's time for the plank on top. There we go, I'm done, and I'm really sweaty. It's so warm in there, but I'm really proud of the result of this thing. I mean, look at it. Imagine some dirt in these boxes and then plants growing. I've got the headboard here where we can put in nails or screws, and I haven't got a plank long enough yet for putting on these, but we got a shelf here. This is gonna be a little working station, or if you find a box big enough, this is also gonna be a planting box. We'll see if we find a box big enough, but I am so happy with this result. It's real nice. Okay, working at hip height in our own little greenhouse with a floor with a little heart in it, and it's all raised up so there's enough head space. Oh, this is awesome. Frida is already populating the buckets. I put a little thermometer here. It reads the outside temperature and inside temperature. You can look what the minimum and maximum were. Let me clear those. There we go. It's, as you can see, it's warm already, but it's around and in the greenhouse. So yeah, we got a little thing here. We got these, this is a little trick. At Bielthema, you can just buy stirring sticks for paint. They come in a really big bag, just a lot of them, and we'll use these to put in the dirt and write on them what kind of seeds or plants we put there. That way, these little wooden sticks, you can reuse them for the next year. So I thought that was a good idea. And as you can see, Frida has already sown some seeds. It's getting there, it's getting started. Are you guys as excited as I am? Probably not. I'm weird that way. And now we're shopping. And let me show you what we're getting. We've got 10 different things we are planning to plant. This is not everything we have. We have more stuff at home, but for now this is it. Well, we're back from shopping, and it is the next day, because yesterday I kind of forgot to film more. But let me show you the things we got. You already saw all the seeds that we bought. Those of course are going to be planted. Frida got a nice big pot. That was really cheap for the size of the pot. And then here we found a little box that fits in here. If this also is going to be for plants, we don't know yet. It might just be to store tools in and stuff. We'll see. Then we got some of those hydro balls. Let me show you what they look like. So we got a bunch of these things that will go into the bottom of all the boxes for drainage, because we don't actually have holes in the boxes for drainage. I will make holes in them if those balls don't work out. But otherwise, we're gonna use those and see, hope for the best that works. Currently, it's 35 degrees in here. 35 in and 31 out. It's crazy. The outside temperature, of course, is being measured right here. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. So it is right on the greenhouse, so it might be a bit warmer than otherwise, but geez, those temperatures. I have to figure out a little different way to measure the temperature, because I want to know the real temperature, not when it's attached to the greenhouse. I might have an idea, but I need the correct things for it, and I never know if I have the correct things. We moved the water tank. It was more over here first, and the nozzle was facing towards the forest. Now it is nicely tucked behind the greenhouse and easier to access when we do want some water. You can just put your bucket here and open it up. So that is in a good position now. Anyway, I'm gonna start working on the step in the greenhouse. As you can see, we've got 2 steps going into the greenhouse. But then on this side there is nothing, and I'm gonna make a step in there, but I don't think that's gonna be interesting vlog material, so I'm just gonna make it, and you're gonna have to see the step next time I make a vlog. Every time we add some extra stuff to the greenhouse.
A great start for our new green little house.
Tubs for plants. Winter has problems staying away. Quite normal in Sweden, but let's see what happens when we put this on here. Go ahead and open the door.
Should I be nervous?
No.
No.
Open the door and put it on hook.
Open door, put on hook.
Now this is the first time for the people watching that they get to see you in the greenhouse I built you.
Oh, well, I have been in here before. I'm not that ungrateful.
So let us know what you think, and also she's put some plants in here already. I knew she was going to react to that way.
Good job, guys. See, here's this coming.
Ooh, there's another one growing. Yay.
I love you.
Hey.
I love you too.
Well, thank you. So, since last time you guys saw a vlog, I've added these racks with some hanging bars. So when we have plants growing in here that need some support, we can put them on here or here. And I've also added, would you mind taking these things away, darling? A little table with a hinge. And then there's some storage in here. And it's a working surface. So, yeah. Every time we add some extra stuff to the greenhouse, like a dancing Frida. And today, it's time to put some dirt in those boxes. Do you want me to carry some bags of dirt for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then you take the camera.
Okay.
This one we have already used, evidently. Let me get you some full ones.
I'm doing a great job at being camera person.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, look at this. These are last year's.
Hang on.
These are last year's chives. And they're already coming back really well.
Yeah. Isn't this the 3rd year?
No. Like last year we got to harvest them a bunch. But this is the 2nd year. They're doing amazing. So, yeah. We're just gonna keep harvesting them. Okay, dirt. Here we have our garden closet. I'm guessing a lot of these things are gonna move into the greenhouse. Most likely.
Some of them could, yeah.
Like this and the smaller. Anyway.
I can take those.
You can get those?
Yeah.
They're heavy.
Are they still filled with water?
These are all from last year. So, yeah.
Yeah. Steve's dad showed up one day looking really happy. He's like, I got some dirt for you. I was like, oh, thank you.
It's more than we were using at the moment.
Yeah. So that's a great start for our new green little house. Little greenhouse.
Well, I guess we just dump it on in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. You can save one and use it as a garbage bag.
Okay, what? Yes.
Found it.
Got it.
This is this.
Dinosaur claw. Get the buckets filled.
Found myself a little broom. Perfect.
Perfect for cleaning up. What's gonna happen now, darling?
So yeah, I was just thinking, we're not going to be planting anything just now in here because it's still a little bit too cold. So I've, except for these ones, but these are sunflowers. So for some reason I was just thinking they're a bit more hardy, so they could survive and thrive, which they have. Yes. But now I think we just need to figure out what to do with this part. Yeah, a little bit where we want stuff.
Yeah, because we've got 2 more of these buckets.
Yeah.
Are we gonna fill those up too?
I'd say so.
Then we need to also figure out where those are going.
Yes.
Just for those of you that missed it, we do have what?
I'll just wait until you're talking.
For those of you that missed it, we do have more plans for this greenhouse, like how we are gonna do the interior. But Frida had a good idea in saying, like, let's do this season the way it is, and then we'll learn lessons on how we want to change it for next season. So we got 2 extra buckets. We're gonna have those loose for now, and then for next season we'll figure out how we want to change that. Well, we have a bit more of this stuff than we need, so we're saving those for other times. And I've got a perfect place to store them. Right there. In there. Do you want this dirt in there? Yeah.
You can spread them out on both if you want
Yeah.
to. Just, I don't know if there's gravel and stuff in the bottom of that one. So, just...
Oh, there's roots.
Yeah, that's fine. That'll give nutrition to the new soil.
Or become some kind of plant.
Or become some kind of plant.
I don't think there's anything in the bottom.
No? Okay. Oh.
Except for a broken bottom.
It's a broken bottom. Oh.
I think that froze broken. You see it? Huh. Well,
Guess we're not using that for a citrus tree.
it's the end of this. It's the end of this one. Knife. Where's my knife? There's my knife. Stab. Cut. Yeah. Next one. Sorry, babe, I won't cut your leg off again.
Thanks.
Should we add some more, or do you think this is good for now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Five tubs for plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter has problems staying away. Quite normal in Sweden, but irritating. Jeez. Ah! Stay away, winter. I did keep working on the greenhouse a little bit. I had a day at work where it was a very short work day, or work night I should say. I work nights, but it was a very short one. So after I was done at work, I had time left on my hands. And I went dumpster diving. I found something really nice for the greenhouse. And I'm gonna show you. Okay, opening the greenhouse. You guys know about this part, right? I've shown you this part already in this vlog, but on the other side, I found some shelves. Some perfect storage shelves. Close the door so I don't let all the heat escape. So yeah, I made a wooden rack for the shelves to sit on. And now we've got some awesome storage shelves where Frida is putting her little sunflowers. They're doing great. And yeah, so the cool thing about these being racks is that if you put plants below it, light still comes through to help out the growth of the plants. So in due time this will fill up with all kinds of plants that can start growing in here. And for those of you wondering, the temperature outside right now is 0.5 degrees Celsius, but in here it's a cozy 5 degrees Celsius. So the greenhouse is working. We are actually keeping it warmer in here than it is outside. But yeah, this greenhouse is really turning out good. Shelving, like 3 plant boxes here, one standing there, one down there. Some place for extra dirt, work surface. It's like, oh, I'm enjoying this. This is amazing. Anyway, right now, I'm taking a little break from working with those things. I got a plastic bag, I got a vinyl glove, and we're gonna do something different for a second. Because we got a lot of dirt in the greenhouse. Frida has started using the greenhouse already. As you can see, we've got some plants growing here. These are sunflowers. I think these two are tomatoes. We've got a citrus plant here. But all these boxes are just filled with dirt. There's no plants in it yet. She's gonna get to it. And we also have all those boxes that also gonna have to be filled with dirt. But you can't just use dirt. You also need a little bit of nourishment for your plants. And we looked at buying that stuff. There is a garden shop that is called Grand Garden, Big Garden, in Sweden. And that garden shop sells a lot of garden supplies. And we looked at garden nourishment. I'm forgetting the word. There's a special word for it. Anyway, and that stuff is really expensive. Like for a bag of 25 kilograms of it, you pay almost 60 euros. And that's just crazy. We're not paying that, while we can just go get a bag, use a glove, and then go into the forest where the cows live and pick up some cow poop. So I'm going into the forest and going to pick up some cow poop. And you're coming with me. You don't have a choice. So I walked a little bit down the road here. And now I have to hop the fence over here. Luckily I'm a tall guy, so I can just... And then we're on the other side. And in this big piece of forest is where the long-horned, long-haired cows live that the neighbors own. And we're just gonna go look for a little bit of poop. And there we go, our first pile of shit. Give me a second here. There we go. Get my sleeve in there because I don't want my sleeve hanging in the poop. There we go. Okay. Only grab poop with my left hand. Film with the right. Left, poop. Right, film. The reason I'm doing this is, one, to save money, and two, because my dad before has gotten manure from a farmer, but that stuff is very wet and concentrated, and you need to dilute it first before you spread it amongst your plants. This stuff has been out here for a while and has already been diluted and dried out. So I think using this stuff is going to be a little bit easier and better. So let's start collecting. I don't like collecting poop, but it's for a good cause, for our beautiful garden. Yeah. Anyway, let's get this over with. There's still some wet parts. Yeah. We got ourselves a nice big bag full of cow manure, which will help our plants grow. And yes, nowadays you can buy expensive bags of fertilizer, is the word. And, you know, all those fertilizers are made for specific plants. But, you know, back in the day, this is how they used to do it. And it should just work fine. I hope. So I just came back from town. And we got ourselves a full load of plant dirt. In Swedish, plantjord. So yeah, got a 30 sacks of plant dirt here, which are gonna go into these here and for all other planting projects in the greenhouse as well. Frida and I have been planting some seeds in the greenhouse already. And let me show you those, because they're actually starting to produce something. We got all these racks that we found dumpster diving. And here we have zucchini. And you can see the zucchini already is starting to show. Just one of them. The others aren't showing that much. Here we have pumpkin. And pumpkin is also starting to show here a bit, and over there. Very exciting. Then we have tomato plants here. We have a citrus plant. And over here we have tiny, tiny little salad plants that are coming up, which is amazing. And we got 2 tomatoes over here. So that makes me happy. The greenhouse is actually starting to be used, which is awesome. Now, into the greenhouse, we set up 2 more hooks. Got some string hanging from it, so that these jungle cucumbers can grow up them. As you can see, we've got them nicely tied up. And the ones in the back are gonna grow up through this rack, like this pretty one is already doing. Look how well it's holding on. Well done, buddy. We planted more beef tomatoes in these 2 pots, one in that pot, and I need your guys' help with this one. This is a citrus plant that I got from my mom. We don't know what kind of citrus, but as you can see, the leaves are hanging a bit. It has been recently replanted in this bigger pot, but since then it has grown a lot already. But still the leaves are hanging. But we are getting some little flowers in here. You see those? Yeah. So tell me why the citrus plant is hanging like that. I'm confused by it. We got some more beef tomatoes in here. We've got a lot of beef tomatoes. Haven't labeled this one yet. Let me label that one quick as well. So we get out a little stick. It's just a painting stick that we get at a Biltema store here, and we just write with permanent marker beef. There we go. And that can now go into this guy, and that will be reusable. The stick, I mean. All right. Yeah, we got a bunch of those painting sticks in here. They are really cheap, and that way, I mean, they're cheaper than actually buying real plant labels, and they're still reusable, so I think they're perfect for the job. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing that you made it all the way to the end of this episode. I know it was really long, but here is the inside of the greenhouse. Look at all these plants. Isn't it amazing how much it has all grown? It's really awesome. And that's not all. Look at down here. So much stuff has been growing. Yeah, we've got buckets of strawberries here. I mean, this greenhouse is doing amazing. So, yeah, I think we call this project a success. We've put a lot of work in it, and it's bearing fruit for real. It's amazing. Well, this isn't the end of all we're gonna do with the greenhouse though, because working with it, we've already come up with plans. So stay tuned, subscribe to the vlog, and see what changes we'll make to the greenhouse in the future. I hope you appreciate how much work I have put into this extra long episode. So maybe subscribe, give it a like, and maybe even become a channel member. See you all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, see you all in the next vlog. Bye.
They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast. Cross me.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next vlog. And don't forget to subscribe.
Still recording.
I've been doing fine. I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb.